ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकम् भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 47, verse number 32. This is continuation of Sri Krishna's message to gopis sent through Dasa. So, as we have been reading, that every sloka has got two meanings. One is in relationship with jnana, which means to understand that everything is manifestation of Paramatma. Paramatma is present in everybody's heart, and therefore there is no separation from him. And this is the essential theme of that. And therefore gopis should not feel separation. And the other meaning is that he is manifest in their mind through meditation, by remembrance, although physically he is not present. And they should know this. So, it's continuing. Yenendriyarthan dhyayeta mrisha swapnavad utthitaha tannirundhyad indriyani vinindraha pratyapadyata. So this is generally in the sloka you have one verb, here you have four. Very compact verse. So it says, Yena indriyarthan dhyayeta mrisha swapnavad utthita. That when you get up from your dream and then you think what you saw in the dream, all the indriyarthas, the objects of the senses, and dhyayeta, you think, you meditate, deliberate, by what? Yena, that is mind. And you know that what you saw was mrisha, it was not real. Tenan tannirundhyad indriyani vinidra pratyapadyata. So that mind by which you think of the objects which you saw in your dream as false, you should control that mind and control the senses also by the mind. And then you would have learned how to control through your wakefulness, vinindra. So the senses that should control your mind. That is basically saying Tannirodhyad Indriyani. So Mano Nirodh, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, controlling of the mind, that is the thing which you hear in any spiritual path, whether it is yoga or Sankhya or Advaita or anything. It's all control of the mind, except in bhakti, where you have to do seva. So primarily there are two paths of spirituality. One is of renunciation, another is of love and service. So most of the paths which are popular, they are path of giving up. Because people think and understand that engaging in activities or involving yourself in material objects is the cause of bondage. And therefore you have to renounce them. So Rite Jnanat na mukti. It's a popular statement that without Jnana there is no mukti. And the other is the path where you consider that everything is manifestation of Bhagavan and everything is meant for his service, including our own mind, body and senses. Therefore everything be utilized. Anashaktasya vishyan yatharam upinjata. Nirbandha Krishna sambandha yukta vairagyam yuktam uchyate. So that is the proper vairagya, that is the prescribed vairagya on the path of bhakti. That we do not give up everything, but we utilize it. Labho jiveta yavata, as Bhagavatam says. So to make use of things as they are necessary for our maintenance, and then utilize our energy, our possessions, our intelligence for the service of Bhagavan. So that is the bhakti part. And then the mind becomes naturally controlled. You don't have to make an effort. So on all other paths, there is a separate effort made to control the mind. So here the mind is manmana bhav mad bhakta madhyaji mam namaskaro. So mayi eva manadhasya mayi buddhim niveshaya. So put your mind on me, engage your mind on me. So that is the process of bhakti. So that's why two separate explanations are being given. Updishtoyam jnana yogo manonirodhe sati phalati iti manonirodham vidhatte. So in the previous slokas he has preached about Jnana Marg. And the outcome of Jnana Marg, which is moksha, is achieved only if you have control over mind. And therefore, now in this verse, he speaks about mind control, manonirodha. Yena manasa indriyarthan vishayan dhyayeta utthitaha prabuddho jana swapnavat swapnam yatha nusha bhutan api arthan dhyayeta tanmana indriyani cha nirundhyat. So by the mind by which we experience the sense objects, indriyarthas, and we think of them, and when you become awakened, vinidra. So vinidra means to get out of the sleep. So it has both meaning. One is the literal meaning, literally waking up from the sleep. Other is to becoming enlightened, awakened. That is also called vinidra. That's why Arjuna is called Gudakesh. So Gudakesh means enlightened person, who has control over mind, senses, who has transcended the gunas of Prakriti, is called Gudakesh. So that is the Vinidra, that is the awakened person, Utthita, awakened. So Prabuddha, that's why we have the word Buddha. Lord Buddha means the enlightened one. So Swapnavat, so he sees the objects like the dream objects. So this is the Vairagya, this is the principle of Vairagya. In Bhagavatam also you see so many slokas where they seem like why it is being described here. Things as if everything is false. So Trisargo Mrisha, the first sloka can be seen Trisargo Amrisha. The creation is not false, and Trisargo Mrisha, it is false. But there are many slokas. So they are not to actually say that the world is unreal or it is false or illusory or it is dream, but it is to tell us that it is temporary. So when the world is compared to dream, it does not mean that it is false or it is unreal. That's how the Advaitvadis explain. The intention is that it is temporary and we are permanent. So if a permanent person makes friendship with a temporary person, it is going to end sooner or later. So better to know this. So that is the avidya. This is one of the part of avidya, to consider that which is temporary as permanent, that which is miserable as pleasurable, that which is impure as pure. So this happens because of avidya. So awakened person means who is gone beyond avidya. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitam atmana. So one who has dispelled the ignorance by light of knowledge, so then he understands swapnavat, that it is like a dream. Like a dream means it's temporary, like a dream. Just as dreams are temporary, like that this is also temporary. So yatha mrisha bhutan api anarthan dhyayet. But here, because he is taking from Gyan Marg point of view, so he says mrisha, unreal, and he thinks here in the material world. So you wake up from the dream and you think, if the dream was nice, and you think about it. There were 3 men, they were talking about dream. So he said, if you get $1,000 in your dream, what will you do? So you're saying, oh, I will go and I will enjoy. The other one said another plan. The third one said, I will go back to sleep. Maybe I'll get another 1,000. So he's smart. So that's how the dreams are. So he says, tan mana indriyani cha nirundhyat. So he says that mind and the senses, so that you should restrain, control them. Otherwise there is no limit of it. Mind can do all kinds of things and it can go on thinking, go on deliberating, doesn't stop, doesn't get tired. Body gets tired, you close your eyes, mind is still going on. So chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramathi, balvat, it's a balvat, it's very powerful, it has got a lot of energy in it, so it doesn't get tired, so it keeps on running. So therefore you have to do manonirodha. So it's a tough job, but that's what spirituality is. So yato vinidraha savdhana eva janah pratyapadyate. So only a person who is very careful, only he can do this. If you think that you are going to do your meditation, japa, 5 minutes, somebody was asking me, can I chant like 4 times this mantra? And I say, yes. And then he says, after some time he says, but I don't feel anything. I said, yes, that's also true. You can do 4 times and you won't feel anything. So you have to be very alert, attentive if you want to control your mind. So abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihiyate. Krishna says, so abhyas vairagyam bhyam tannirodha. So these 2 are the mantras for mind control. Abhyasa and vairagya. Abhyasa means repetition. So go on repeating your practice as much as you can. And you have to restrain it from things which are not favorable. So anukulyasa sankalpa, pratikulyasa varjanam. You have to give up that. So that is the meaning of vinidra, he is saying. That means you are awake. Because to do that you have to be alert, you have to be attentive. Otherwise you follow the mind. So then, yato yato nischarti mana chanchalam astiram tato tato niyame tad atmanya vasham nayet. So you have to pull it back like the horse is controlled by the rain. So like that you have to control with buddhi. And it is the function of buddhi to be awake. These three states of sleep, wakeful and dreamless sleep, these are actually the states of buddhi. It is the buddhi which undergoes, because it is buddhi which makes you function in the society. Just imagine if you lose your memory, how much can you function? If you have met people who have dementia, then they become like vegetable. Very limited thoughts, limited actions. So when you dream, what is happening is that buddhi is not working. Buddhi loses its wakefulness. That's why it is called sleep. Swapa. So it is unable to discriminate. So it mixes things and all kinds of ideas are thrown away, and just like a confused state. So you are like a confused person. That is because buddhi is not working. That's called sleep. That is nidra. So dra and nidra means kutsit gati. Your movements are not good. So you have to come out of that vinidra. That is wakefulness. So yato vinidraha savdhan eva jana pratyapadyata. Yes.
You mentioned in Vedanta that Paramatma is the cause of dreams. So would it be right to understand that it is Paramatma who causes the limitation of buddhi? Or should we say like that?
That's what he says in Gita also, when he says Sarvaschaham hridi sannivishta matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Three states. Smriti, that is dreams. What is dream? It's just memory, jumbled up memory is dream. Jnanam is wakeful state. You know things. And apohanam, deep sleep. You know nothing. So these three are mentioned there. He says it comes from me. So yato vinidraha savdhana eva jana pratipadyate. So pratipadyate means to attain, to be successful, to achieve. And what is that success here? Success here is talking about mind control. So the success in mind control therefore happens only to a person who is vinidra, who is not sleepy, who is awake. So only he can do that. Tan mana indriyani cha nirudhyat. So therefore, this is done. Pratipanno jnanvan abhut iti purvachara pramanita. So this pratipadyataha is used in the past tense. Pratipadyata. So as if he is giving a proof. So Bhagavad gatim gata. And Gita says many people have attained me like this. So he is saying people have attained this. So pratipanno jnanvan abhut. So pratipanna pratipadyata means he became enlightened. So he is giving a proof of, or example that in the past many people have done this. So you also do this. So don't think that it is impossible or it cannot be done. It can be done. So purvachara means the practice done by people in the past. So this is the explanation from Gyan point of view. Pakshe, then the other from the hidden meaning, the internal meaning. Utthitaha, so there is a word here used as Vinidraha Pratipadyata and Utthita. Utthita means to wake up. So earlier you remember he was saying that I appear in your mind, right? And I play with you. So then when he is doing that and the gopis are absorbed in that, that is what is called murcha. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita that many times he will just go into his internal state and then they have to do kirtan to bring him out. So when he is going in internal state, he is as if in a state of swoon, as if he has fainted. He is lying down and maybe mumbling something, or not even that. This foam is coming out of his mouth. So like sometimes people have this, what is it called? Seizure. So they get seized. So everything ceases. So it is also like that. It's a state of samadhi. Everything ceases. That's the manonirodha. But here it is another type of manonirodha. They are seeing Krishna. It's not the manonirodha of Yoga Sutra, where there are no thoughts. But here there is meditation or union with Krishna. And then you come out of that. So that is called utthan. Technically, it is called utthan, which also means coming up or waking up. Both meaning. So going into the samadhi and then coming out. So he says utthita murchitaha, murchata prabuddho, that you become awakened from your state of swoon. Bhavadvidho jana, so people like you, indriyarthan, so the object of your senses. And what is that? Mad darsana, sansparshana, adharpan, alinganadin, vishyan, mad avirbhav janitatvat satyaneva, yena manasa, swapnavat, mirsha bhutaneva dhyayata. So he says that in your that state of swoon or in the state, internal state, you actually had contact with me, you saw me and we touched each other, I kissed you, I embraced you. But then when you come out of that state and you think it is false. You think it was just a dream. He says, no, it was not a dream, it was real. Right? AOL. What is that? AOL? So there are many tricks of the mind. What is real, what is not real? So difficult. So you go into that state, mad avirbhava janitatvat satyaneva. It says because all this experience was generated by my manifestation. I appear to you. That's what he's been saying, that I manifest my mind, my senses, my everything is with you, and I manifest, and then we play with each other. But then when you come out of that state, you think it was a dream. Like Sachi Mata will cook and put the food, and Mahaprabhu will come and eat, and then he will go away, and then he'll say, what happened to the food? I did not cook. So that they don't think that it's actually eaten really. So that's why he's saying, so he says, you think it is mirsha dhyayata. Now he's giving another meaning. In other case he says that people think of this as temporary, like it is in dream, and he says, don't think like that. This is the mistake you are making. Then you feel separation. But you should know that it's not false. So yena manasa swapnavat mrisha bhutan eva dhyayeta tan manor nirundhyat turuskarvita. He says, control this mind, that mind which is making you think that this was false. Control that. That is another control. That know that it is true. So kick away that mind, tiraskurvita. Tad apramanyaditi bhava. He says that is not real. What is not real is to think that it was not real. That's not true. That is wrong. That is an illusion. That you saw me, that was not an illusion. But to think that you did not see, that is an illusion. So throw away this illusion in your mind. He says, this is my problem. I am suffering because of that. That you don't believe me. I come and you don't trust me. So that's why I have to send a messenger to remind you. That's the reason. So this is Vishwanath Chakravarti's line of explanation. Jiva Goswami is talking about prakat and aprakat. That we are actually going into the aprakat and I am having union with him. So yato vinidra nidrarahita eva bhavadadi indriyani swanetradini pratyapadyata pratakshata eva niranjan nirag nischandanani apadyata gyatvan eva. He says that when you come out from that state and you are like awakened state, because that is the state of murcha, it's like state of swooning, or as if you have lost unconscious state. So when you come out, and then what do you see? Vinidra. Then you see yourself that your anjan is gone, all the mark you had on the face, that is not there. So, and then you don't realize why it is not there. If it was false, why it would happen? So niranjana, niraga, nischandanani. So niranjan means that your mascara is cleaned, and raga, chandan, your sandalwood and ointments which you have applied, they are not there. Indriyani swanetradini pratyapadyata pratakshata eva gyatvan. You know this directly, you perceive it, and still you think it was false. So yusmabhir anurag andhabhir mahavirah utkantya vigata vicharabhir matkartrik yusmat karmaka nanavid sambhogo api yatha mrisha abhuta eva manyate. So he says that because you are completely blinded by the love for me, and you are so eager out of separation from me that you cannot think clearly, vigata vicharabhi, and you cannot know that mat kartrika yusmaka karmaka nanavid sambhoga. So we have various types of play with each other, in which I am the karta and you are the karma. Means I am playing with you, I am the agent and you are the object. So that is the meaning of mat kartrika and yusmat karma. But you think it is false, unfortunately. And that is the problem. So etadeva me mahad dukkham. So this is my big problem. I don't know what to do. I am coming and meeting you, and you don't recognize it, you don't acknowledge it. Ateva tattat satyapna arthakam etat sandesa preshnam mamaiti bhava. So it is only to make you realize that what is happening to you is not false, it is not mrisha, it is real, that I have sent this message. So now you should believe me, because if it is not real, then how do I know that your mascara and your sandalwood and they all have been gone and your ornaments have been displaced? How will I know? So you have experienced it, and if you now remember that this happens to you and I am telling this, then I must be coming. So this is real. That's why I am sending Uddhava to remind you that don't think that I am not coming. So don't keep on being upset with me that I don't care, I have gone there and this and that. Stop all this. Etadanta samamnayo yoga sankhyaṁ manishinam tyagastapodama satyam samudrantā ivapagaha. So the Vedas, they give instruction only for this purpose. What is the purpose? Control of mind. Manayeva manushyanam karanam bandham mokshayo vishyāsakta bandhaya and vinumukta vishyāsakta bandhaya muktaya. So that is the mind which is the cause of bondage and liberation. Manayeva manushyanam karanam bandha moksha. It is the mind only which is the cause of bondage and cause of liberation. So, Visyasakta bandhaya. When it is attached to the Vishaya, sense object, that is bondage. And Nirvishyam mukta yasmat. And when it is free from the Vishaya, then that is what is moksha. So he says, therefore control the mind. Etadantaha. This is the end, this is the ultimate, this is the highest goal. Chitta vritti nirodha. And the Vedas, Yoga, Sankhya, they all are speaking about this only. And Manishinam Tyagas Tapodama Satyam. And the learned people, when they are doing their tyaga, their renunciation, austerities, control of senses, practicing truthfulness, so all this ends only for control of mind. Why? What is the purpose of tapasya, austerity? Is control of mind. Otherwise, if you stand on one leg, what this has to do with spirituality? Those birds in the river, what are they? Cranes, they also stand on one leg. Right? Like a yogi, very meditative. Isn't it? कितने बड़े योगी हैं. But as soon as they see the fish, then pull it. So do they get any benefit of standing on one leg? So it is, idea is that you control your mind, you create some unfavorable situation, and in that unfavorable situation you try to control your mind. Switch off your AC when it's 50 degrees. You don't have to go out, there is no need to go in the sun. And then do japa, and see how much your mind is fixed. So that is the tapasya. And here you don't have to switch it off, the government themselves. People all the time complaining, why electricity problem? They are doing this so that you can do some tapasya. Otherwise, what is the point of coming to Vrindavan? If you have all the facilities of the West here in Vrindavan, then what benefit you derive? You will sleep in the cool air. So all these problems are created so that you can remain tolerant, stable, equanimous, samatvam yoga uchyate. So yoga yukto bhavarjuna. So that you can become a yogi. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. How many times Krishna is saying that become yogi, become yoga yukta. Yogastha kuru karmani. So this is what is yoga. And yoga is chittavritti nirodha. Tadvidyad dukh sanyogam yogam yoga sangitam. That is what is the definition of yoga. So this is, he says, etadanta samamnaya. So amnaya's instruction, Veda, of instruction of Veda is amnaya. Veda is called amnaya, samamnaya, amnata, mnadhatu. So yogam, sankhyam, manishinam, tyagas, tapo, dama, satyam. So all these things, the idea is to control the mind. Otherwise, you can do tyaga, then what? Then you have the pride of being a tyagi. There are people who call themselves as mahatyagi, but they all wear fancy dress. So they have their pride. So that is not the purpose. And this is just like samudrantha ivapaga. So it is just like all the rivers, they enter into the ocean. So the rivers come from various sides and they go inside the ocean. So like that there are various paths which are coming. Sankhya, yoga, tyaga, tapasya, right? Kundalini yoga, nadi yoga. All this. But what is the ultimate goal? Mind control. That is the meaning. All road leads to Rome. So that was a destination once upon a time when Roman Empire was flourishing. So this is the Samudranta Ivapaga. So just as the end of all rivers is ocean, like that end of all the sadhanas is mind control. That's what they are teaching in modern days also. They have just different names for that. Wakeful, what is it called? Mindfulness. So he's saying mind emptiness. They are saying mindfulness. Is it fullness or foolness? Fooling the mind. Mindful. So mano nirodharthaka eva sarva shastrokta sarvepi upaya ityah. So all the upayas, all the practices, all various types of sadhanas which are described in Shastra. He is not talking about ashastriya practices. There are also many practices which are not rooted in Shastra. So he is not speaking about that. They have their own goal. Basically want to make money. These days they also teach you meditation to make money. So he says that these all the upayas, all the practices which are coming from Shastra, they have only one artha, one purpose, and that is to control your mind. Because if you can control your mind, then you can control anything. then you are the boss. Otherwise you are a slave. Etad anta iti. So for that he says etad antad. And this is the ultimate thing. Esha mano nirodha eva antah samapti phalam yasya. So the word anta here means the end, which means the result, the fruit. Whenever you do some practice, then you do that practice to achieve something. The goal, the ultimate result. So what is that ultimate result? He says mano nirodha. That control, restraint of mind. Sa samamnaya sampurna vedaha. So all the Veda is speaking about that only. Satatra paryavashyati ityartha. So ultimate conclusion of the Veda, he says, is in this only. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Vedaischa sarverahameva vedya. Now he says it is mind control. So yoga, Ashtanga yoga. Yoga here means Ashtanga yoga. So what is Ashtanga yoga? Babaji, you know? No? One or two? Ashtanga means 8 parts. So tell one or two at least. Asana at least you know asana. Everybody thinks now that doing asana is yoga. Asana pranayam. So yam niyam asana pranayam pratyahar dharana dhyan samadhi. That is Ashtanga yoga. Anybody is practicing here Ashtanga yoga? No? Anybody practiced? No? Okay. So Sankhya, what is Sankhya? Esa te bhita Sankhya buddhir yogaste mam shanu. What is Sankhya? Shri.
Discrimination between minds, between spirit and matter in this search.
Good. So Sankhya, Atma Anatma Viveka. Sankhya means Samyak Kya. Kya means knowledge. Khyati. You heard the word Khyati? Khyati means to be famous, which means that people know you. So Sankhya means which gives you knowledge, proper knowledge. Samyak. So that proper knowledge means to know that you are not the body. You are distinct from that. So yoga is actually the practice and Sankhya is the theory. They go together. Yoga is also called Sankhya. Sankhya is also called yoga sometimes. So they are twin systems. So to have this viveka, to this discrimination between body or matter and spirit, kshetra kshetragyayor jnanam, yatyas jnanam matam mama. What does Krishna say? He says this is jnana. To know what is kshetra and what is kshetragya. That is called jnana. Jnanam gyam jnana gamya. And marg bhede api ekatra paryavashani drishtanta. So although these are all different paths, Sankhya is one darshana, yoga is another darshana, right? Vaisheshika is another darshana, Nyaya is another darshana. He says although the paths are different, but they end up in one place. Like the rivers, he gives an example, like the rivers reach the ocean. Samudrantaha apagaha nadya eva. So that is the explanation from Gyan point of view. Then from the Gopi point of view, Pakshayata mano nirodhe satyeva samsara taranam tatheva bhavati namapi madviraha taranam mano nirodhadeva. So he says that you can cross over this material world by control of the mind. Because mind is the seat of desires. And desires are which implicate us in the material world. Kamesha, Krodhesha, Rajagun, Samudbhava, Mahashano, Mahatmapma, Vidhyainam, Vairinam. This is our enemy. And where does it sit? Indriya, man, Manu Indriyani, Asyadhisthana. Buddhi Mana Indriyani, Asyadhisthana, Uchyate. So mind is the main seat of desires. That's where they manifest. Senses help them, because with sense you see the chocolate, then you say, okay, I get the desire to eat. Then you eat, then you have stomach ache because you overeat. So that's problem comes. So Jahi Satrum Mahabaho Kamarupam Durasadam. So Krishna says, kill this enemy which is Durasat. It is very difficult to control. So therefore he says that to cross the material world, the ocean of the material world, you have to control mind. Samudra mapa pravishanti tadvat sarve kama pravishanti yas. So all the kamas enter into him, he remains just like the rivers entering into the ocean. So shanti mapnoti na kama kami. So he attains peace. And he says that in the same way, now you are drowning in the ocean of separation. So you will cross over this ocean of separation also by controlling your mind. Which means knowing that I am appearing in your mind. So then you don't have to think that there is a viraha. So tathaiva bhavati naam api mad viraha taranam mano nirodhadev. So it is only by the control of your mind that you will cross over this viraha, separation. Yat khalu mana satyam api mat sangaha bhavati ralikattvena pratyayati iti bhava. So what is the meaning of controlling mind in their case? In case of different processes, we understand that you make your mind free from thoughts, etc. What about gopis? What is their control? So he says control is that my association with you is real and your mind is telling you that it is not real. So that's all you have to do. You have to just see that my union with you is true, it is not false, it is not unreal. And then there will be no more viraha. So that is the commentary. Any question on this? Yes. Sandeep.
So these last few shlokas, like which are outwardly looking like Gyan. So because the messenger is Uddhav, that is why these shlokas are like both for Gyan Marg and because Krishna selected Uddhav to give the message.
No, it's not. That's not the purpose. He already explained it in the commentary. He says that Krishna is speaking in a way to show to the Gyan Margis that bhakti is superior to Gyan. Because these slokas, they will only understand it in the form of Gyan. The Gyan Margis will not understand these slokas from bhakti point of view. They will understand the first meaning. And then they will see that after hearing this high class Gyan, the gopis' viraha did not subside. So then they will understand the intensity of their love. And in this way he is showing the power of prema over Gyan, and that is the meaning. And to gopis he is giving the second meaning, they will understand it.
what this second meaning is Uddhav also getting that meaning? Because when finally he, what we recite in our morning prayer, so when he is saying those shlokas, I think by the end of this chapter, so he is also getting that second meaning, or?
Yes, he is not only getting it, he is seeing it.
Okay.
What is the reason why the gopis' mind is telling them that that association with Krishna is not real?
Because they have so much love that this is not satisfactory to them. They want to have him physically. That's the idea, to say that how much love they have. That's why he says that you are mad, anurag andhabhi. That you are blinded by my love. Tanmay ji. I cannot hear you.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
So I was saying that there is a discussion on this topic in the Krishna Sandarbha, where Shri Jiva Goswami is trying to reconcile the statement that Krishna says, I never leave Vrindavan, I never leave you, we are always together, and with the fact that he is in Mathura and they are suffering separation. So in that context, he explains, I think similar to Chakravarti Papa, that there is Prakat-Līlā, and in the Prakat-Līlā they are together, and in the Aprakat-Līlā they are not. And therefore, but at the same time, they are only one person, because they are just Prakashas. So they are simultaneously in union and in separation. In union in the Aprakat and in separation in the Prakat. So we have a long discussion on this topic in the Krishna Sandarbha. So here now there is an additional separation and union, I guess, in the Prakat-Līlā itself, where you have meeting in the mind and then separation physical, in a physical sense.
Yeah, so
It's
this,
not a question, but just a comment.
yes, so as I said, that Jiva Goswami's explanation is based on Prakat and Aprakat, and Vishwanath Chakravarti is not going to that. He is just explaining it, that here itself is appearing in their mind.
There's one question to yesterday's lecture from YouTube. Maybe you have answered it already, but I want to make sure. So the question is that, does it mean that when we dream of Krishna that we have an experience of him? Because he says that he appears in the dreams also of the gopis.
It depends who you are. I cannot answer in general. So if you have bhav like gopis, yes. If not, no. So it's depending on what is your state of devotion.
The natural follow-up would be, what is the nature of this dream then, when people like us have a dream of Krishna?
Just like you have samskaras in there, become udbuddha, they become activated and dream. So we can also have, we are seeing Krishna's form, deity talking, that can also come in the dream. As in the wakeful, as in the dream. So for them wakeful and dream also same, for us also it is same. No difference. Dream is just a smriti, wakeful is prataksha.
Also in this, I was thinking in this murcha state, when they are associating with Krishna, can we also consider that as Aprakat-Līlā? Because there are physical consequences where they're having some physical effects of it. So, and it is really happening. but for them it is seeming like it is unreal.
Yeah, so it depends whether they actually perceive themselves a part of a Prakat-līlā, or just like Krishna manifests to everybody when he has his Prakat-līlā here, right? So then he's actually manifest here. But then he can manifest to one individual devotee anytime. Those who have attained that state, he can manifest to them and everything can become manifest to them. So, in the same way, he can manifest in one particular devotee's mind or in that particular state, or he can manifest, he can give him an experience of his Prakat-līlā.
Because another follow-up I had was, I think in Krishna Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami is trying to show that because they cannot have fluctuating states of union and separation for continuity of their rasa, that he is making this distinction of prakat and aprakat. So, can we see that that is also the reason why they are feeling it is unreal in that sense?
No, unreal because they are going in and out. So they think like that. It's just like you have dream and you come out of it. Then you dream, you come out of it. So you know that dream is not real. So that's also happening to them. So therefore they think it is not real.
So it is also quite possible that it is, we could see it somewhat like coming in and out of prakat and aprakat.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's possible. Mallika.
Question also to yesterday's class. So it was said that Krishna is in full samadhi of the gopis all the time. I was difficult to reconcile this with what was said for the verse 30 when it was, or what you read just now also, that in the mind of the gopis he appears manifest by his own effort and then also disappears again. So that does not seem to match with each other.
Match with what?
But if Krishna is in samadhi of the gopis all the time,
Krishna is it?
Krishna is in full samadhi of the gopis all the time. So
Yeah.
he is all the time actually with them. But at the same time in their mind he disappears and appears.
So you can think that they have different levels of samadhi. In Yoga Sutra also there are 5 types of samadhi. So sometimes, because samadhi means that you become absolutely absorbed. Another is that they are working, doing things and still they are having like inner feeling of Krishna's presence. So in that sense, different.
Samadhi is also full level.
Yeah, different levels. Braj Kishore ji.
Babaji, you just mentioned that dreams or svapna is smriti, means something that has happened before we remember it and it kind of manifests in random forms. Does it mean that not dreaming about Krishna or Guru or what we read and study means it's not in our memory, means it's not really present within us, or we just don't do it enough if we don't dream about it?
No, it's not like that. The thing is that we have a lot of experiences, but not everything comes in dreams. There's so many things we have experienced, but we don't dream of everything. It's not possible. You sleep, whatever, 7, 8 hours, 6 hours, and you are awake for more time. So how much more experience you have? So it's not going to come everything in dream. So there are dreams come based on samskaras, which samskaras are more intense. Means some experiences with which more emotions are attached. Your having anxiety for something, you may dream about that. You are feeling separation from somebody, you may dream about that. Or you are in love with somebody, you may dream about that. So you are feeling hungry, Ekadashi fasting, Nirjala. So you may dream of food at night. Or it's too hot because the AC stopped. Then you may dream of heavy sun. Dreams, various types of dreams come because of also external influence.
Krishna has the ability to appear anywhere, everywhere. So he could appear in everybody's mind, but it is his personal choice not to appear in anybody who doesn't have bhava. So
Why should he appear, tell me?
yeah.
What is the reason?
Yeah. For him, there's no interest. He's not interested in anything.
No, why should he be? Why should he disturb your dream?
He could encourage somebody who's not at that level yet, but who has a desire.
Yeah, he can do that if he wants, but he may not want it. Right? People have their own attachment, they don't want to give them up. So he says, yatha mam prapadyante tam state bhajami. So he doesn't force himself. Sometimes he forces himself, but that means he is really giving his yadrichya grace. But not that it's just everyday affair to everybody. Mohini.
I also have a question to yesterday's class. And you said that when one wants to attain Krishna, one has to go through the gopis. So what is about the other Rajpasis in the other bhavs, like Mother Yashoda or the Sakhas?
So you have to go through them. This is called Lakshana. That's the Raganuga.
So this Raganuga is for all the bhavs in Vrindavan, not only
Yes.
Gopi.
Brajvasi Janadaya. If you want to become a peacock, then also you need a grace of peacock. Okay.